Let's be real. When you hear the word hacker, you probably picture someone in a hoodie, hunched over a keyboard in a dark room, right? But that stereotype, it totally misses the real story. In the digital world, you've got heroes, you've got villains, and you've got this whole fascinating spectrum in between. So today, let's meet the real players in the high-stakes game of cybersecurity.
So, here's the game plan. First, we're going to step into the digital shadows with a really cool analogy. Then, we'll break down the hacker color wheel. Yep, that's a thing. We'll meet the specialist teams on the front lines and even hunt for the ghosts in the machine. We're also going to uncover $1 million black market for digital flaws and see how one single, simple command can reveal absolutely everything.
Okay, to really wrap our heads around this, let's build a little mental model. I want you to imagine a company's entire digital presence, all its servers, its websites, its data, as this massive, gleaming skyscraper at night. It's a huge structure, filled with locked doors, sensitive files, and tons of hidden passages. Now picture two people trying to break into that skyscraper. One is a security consultant, the other is a cybercriminal. Here's the kicker. They might be using the exact same skills, the same tools, maybe even targeting the very same door. So what's the actual difference between them? You know, the answer is almost shockingly simple. The only thing separating the good guy from the bad guy is often just a contract, a piece of paper, a scope of work that gives them permission to be there. It all comes down to authorization and intent. That's it.
So, with that huge idea of permission in mind, let's meet the three fundamental archetypes you'll find standing at the gates of our digital skyscraper. Welcome to the hacker color wheel. On one side, you have the white hat hacker. Think of them as a quality assurance engineer, but for security. They've got a badge, they've got a contract, and their whole job is to find the weak spots before somebody else does. And on the other side, that's the black hat hacker. They're the burglar, climbing the fire escape, exploiting those exact same weak spots, not to fix them, but for their own personal gain. And right in the middle of all this, you've got the gray hat. This is the person who finds a flaw, finds an unlocked window on the 10th floor of that skyscraper, and then emails the CEO saying, "Hey, I found something. Pay me and I'll tell you what it is." They're not exactly a burglar, but they're not the hired security guard either. It's a very, very murky, legally ambiguous space to be in.
All right, so we've met the outsiders. Now let's actually head inside the skyscraper, because in here we find this sharp contrast between the amateurs who might just stumble in and the highly specialized professional teams that are paid to patrol these digital halls. First, you've got the script kiddie. This is someone who found a hacking tool online, like a blueprint for a master key. They don't really understand how locks work. They just go around jiggling the key in every door to see what opens. They're not master thieves, for sure, but they are incredibly dangerous because they're so unpredictable. Now compare that chaos to how the pros are organized. You've got the red team. This is the company's own hired offense, paid to constantly attack their own systems to find weaknesses. Then there's the blue team. They're the defense. They build the walls, set the traps, and watch the cameras. And the purple team? Well, they're the crucial bridge, making sure the attackers and defenders are actually talking and working together to make the whole skyscraper stronger.
Okay. So we've met the burglars and the guards. But there's another level entirely. These are the elite operatives, the true ghosts in the machine. And trust me, they are not interested in stealing a few laptops. They are playing a much, much bigger game.
This is the state actor. We're talking about hackers who are backed by the full resources of a national government. If a black hat is a street-level criminal, a state actor is at the PhD level of espionage. They are playing a global game of chess, and the pieces on the board are entire networks and national secrets. And this really highlights the core difference in their goals. A black hat usually wants a quick smash and grab. Get in, steal something valuable like credit card numbers, and get out. But a state actor, they want persistence. Their goal is to get inside that skyscraper and just live there for years without anyone ever knowing they exist, silently copying every memo and listening to every single call. So how do these elite players even get in? Well, they don't just pick locks. They find flaws in the very architecture of the building, flaws that nobody else knows exist. And this has created a high-stakes, multi-million-dollar underground economy.
The crown jewel of this economy is the zero-day vulnerability. What is that? It's a flaw in a piece of software that the developers themselves don't even know is there. That means there have been exactly 0 days to build a patch or a defense against it. It's a secret, unblockable entrance into the skyscraper.
And the value of that secret is just staggering.
A white hat hacker who finds a zero-day and reports it responsibly to a company might get what's called a bug bounty, maybe $50,000. But if they take that exact same secret and sell it on the black market to a broker or a government, it could be worth $2 million or more. The financial incentive to be the bad guy is immense.
All right, let's bring all this back down to earth for a second. We've been talking about these huge, complex ideas, but what's so incredible is that often the heroes and the villains are using the exact same basic tools. It really all just comes down to how they're used. Take a super simple command like history. In a computer's terminal, all this does is show you a list of the recent commands that someone has typed. That's it. It's a logbook, a digital footprint of everything that has happened in that specific room of the skyscraper.
And right here is where that duality becomes crystal clear. An attacker uses the history command to look for a mistake, like maybe an admin accidentally typed a password in plain text. But the defender? The defender uses that exact same command to trace the intruder's footsteps and see exactly what they did. Same tool, opposite goals.
And check this out. Here's a little pro tip from the source material that just shows how deep this stuff goes. On a lot of systems, just typing a single space before you type a command prevents it from being saved to that history file. It's like a tiny incognito mode for the terminal, a way for an expert to move around without leaving any footprints.
And this really brings us to the core message of this whole thing. From a simple history command all the way up to the most complex zero-day exploit, the technology itself is neutral. The tools are exactly the same. The only variable that truly matters is you, the person using them.
So as we see these lines blur between security consultant and cybercriminal, between a bug bounty and a black market deal, the final question really isn't about the code, it's about character. The tools are the same. The only question left is, how will you use them?